Sam is pulling up to the house while everyone is getting ready to go out to Karma. When she walks in the house, everybody seems very excited to see her except Ron, who looks stunlocked. Hi, I'm Ray Arcade. Welcome to my channel. The last time we were at the Jersey Shore house, Ron and Sam had a huge fight, causing Sam to leave. Ron was left moping around the house, full of self-pity and regret. Paulie and Vinnie started a prank war with the Meatballs. And Snookie had hooked up with some random guy. What will happen next? Take my hand as we find out on this Jersey Shore Retrospective. Today we are covering Season 3, Episode 9 called Kissing Cousins, and it premiered on February 24th, 2011. And don't forget to stick around until the end of the video where I will be reading one of your comments from my last video. Also, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of May. So if you would subscribe, that would be great. I appreciate all of you who subscribe and stick around. You are the real Playboy broads. Okay, let's get into it. We open on Snookie in the Smushroom with her one-night stand, Bernard. He's not cuddling to her satisfaction, and she kicks him out. He doesn't really seem to mind leaving, so there's a parting of ways. Snookie says, "Thanks for the wienering, but never see you again, Bernard."
Homie, can you not be the worst uncle ever?
There you go.
Yeah, sure, leave, bye.
If you don't want to cuddle, thanks for the brajol, but no dinner dates with me and you. Goodbye, never see you again.
Also, dear God, they are just boning on the raw mattress in there. No pillow covers, under a throw blanket. What an experience that must have been. Also, Snookie's like adamant that Bernard is one and done. Not interested, mediocre, mid, lame sex, out of here, right? And the more I watch it, the more awkward it gets knowing that they get married. Her and Giani, Bernard get married later on in life because, like, how do you watch your significant other say that stuff about you on TV and then marry them anyway? I don't know. And then, now they have kids, so maybe one day they'll be able to watch their parents' love story unfold. Nicole decides she wants to get together with that Nick guy who she'd hooked up with a couple of episodes ago. The Nick guy was friends with Roger.
Hello?
Hey, it's Nicole.
Yo, what's going on?
Nick was like the perfect guy. Hi, nice to meet you. Gorilla, sexy, hot, muscly. So what are you doing tonight?
Wow, you got plans?
Well, I was wondering if you wanted to get together.
All right. You want to call me then around 4:30?
Are you gonna answer?
Yeah, I'll be waiting for you around that time.
All right, bye.
I don't think Nick sounds particularly interested in Snookie. I don't know. Do you? At work, Dina's being pretty useless. She convinces Mike and Paulie to take an extra long lunch and just to blame it on her. I think it's pretty clear at this point the work aspect of Jersey Shore is a bit of a formality. I think they borrowed this idea from the real world when they would make the cast get a job, and that was more incorporated into the storyline. Here now it's kind of just a formality because what are they going to do? Fire them if they don't show up to work or are late? No, Ronnie calls his dad.
What's going on, love?
I need someone to talk to.
I definitely think I need my dad. He's been through a lot of in his life, and I need somebody that understands what I'm going through.
I just feel like I made too many bad decisions at this point. I need to fix it. I'm not gonna fix it here. I need you or my friends. I need people that understand me.
I question Ron's father and friends if they understand his behavior and who he is, because I don't think his behavior should be understood. I think he should be held accountable. I don't think Ron is being fully transparent here with his dad. The way he's describing it makes it sound like it's normal relationship issues he was having with Sam, not an abuse issue, i.e. he was abusing her.
Sam left.
Yeah. Love you.
And, I feel like I spend so much time focusing on her that I put myself in a big funk. And it's like she got to go home to fix herself. And it's like, I don't know if I could do that here.
What a pathetic idiot. Like, he's like, oh, she gets to go home. As if she wasn't basically forced to go home to get herself out of a dangerous situation. That no one of ultimate power, like production, was doing anything to fully stop because they wanted to get content for TV. Like, she left because she was scared and broken down. What do you mean she gets to go home? Ronnie's dad does say a quote that I kind of like. He says, "Wherever you go, there you are." It kind of maybe sounds a little redundant, a little silly at first, but, if you think about it, you can outrun who you are and your issues, but they'll always catch up to you, right? So you kind of have to face them, right? Ron, for example, it doesn't matter where he goes, whether he's living in Miami, New York, New Jersey, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, he's always a piece of shit. I am giving Ron's dad a gigantic slice of benefit of the doubt here. So take this for what it's worth. I do think it's good that his dad is willing to drop everything he was doing to go be there for his son. I feel like some dads just aren't that active in their kids' lives. So it's nice to see a dad helping his son. Because I am hoping he didn't know exactly what was going on. It's after 4:30 and Nick is not answering his phone calls from Snookie. She keeps calling and calling him, but it's like, cut your losses, girlfriend. Her and Jenny are theory crafting why Nick would ghost her. But Jenny is dating Roger, who is friends with Nick, so she calls Roger to get to the bottom of things.
What's going on?
I have a question. Have you heard from Nick?
No, I haven't heard from him.
Well, they had a date at 4:30 today, and he didn't answer.
I just know what Nick told me at the gym, that he heard this kid was, like, hanging out with Nicole. Oh, I think that's Nick's friend's cousin.
It's his
He was telling
cousin?
me that. Not Nick's cousin, Nick's friend's cousin. That kid Giani, his cousin, is hanging out with Nicole and is a good friend of Nick. So
Hold on. Gianni, is it that other boy that you hooked up with's cousin?
So we all know now from a couple episodes ago, Jeff Miranda is not Gianni's cousin, okay? I think what happened, there was a misunderstanding in what Roger was saying to Jenny. I'm going to read from my script what I think happened because I keep breaking my brain trying to explain it. Okay. I have analyzed the scene. What Roger is saying is that Nick has a friend whose cousin is Giani. So Nick found out Snookie had been fooling around with another guy through 1 degree of separation and probably decided he didn't want to be a part of it, right? Fine, valid. Snookie does shart her underwear, so, what are you going to do? Roger says that kid Giani, his cousin. What I think Roger meant was he, as in Nick's good friend, his cousin. Like, what I think he wanted to say was that kid Giani is his cousin. Does that make sense? The good friend's cousin, Giani, is hanging out with Nicole. Jeff is no part of it, but the use of he and whatever got confused. Does that make sense? I'm sorry. I'm trying my best here. The toilet downstairs is still clogged and disgusting. Vinnie seems extra motivated to unclog this toilet, which may indicate a sense of guilt, or maybe he's trying to cover his tracks. We'll find out about that in a little bit, but perhaps the lady doth unclog too much.
The toilet's still clogged up, and, it's actually pretty friggin' disgusting. Me and this toilet is like a boxing match. Like, we keep going rounds with each other. I got knocked out in the first round, so I'm going back at it.
And Vinnie is raw dogging the toilet. It's disgusting. No gloves, no shirt, no nothing. Just poop water splashing up on him. Disgusting. Vinnie and Nicole's weird dynamic comes up. I know a lot of people think they have genuine feelings for each other. I don't know how I personally land on it. What do you think? Vinnie is giving her shit for hooking up with guys.
You're a jerk.
Why?
You're mean.
I'm not mean.
There's definitely a double standard in the house. Vinnie can hook up with all these grenades. If I bring home guys and only sleep with one of them, like I'm the biggest slut in the world.
She is so close to calling out a sexist double standard, but ruins it by tearing down other women who, like Snookie, are just trying to have fun with the boys in the house by calling them ugly. Womp womp. But at the club that night, Snookie and Vinnie are dancing, they're flirting, they're having fun. They get back to the house after the club and Snookie puts herself in Vinnie's bed. She keeps saying she wants to cuddle with him, but she's moving his shirt up. It's clear she wants more. Vinnie says no, but she does not respect his boundaries and she keeps pushing. This has happened before with him. He rejects her. She gets upset and keeps pushing for sex. It's sex pesty behavior. I don't like it. I think respecting boundaries needs to be a two-way street. Nobody's entitled to your pee or vagine. Vinnie's reasoning for not wanting to smash Snookie is like, fine, whatever. If not, it is a bit hypocritical, if anything.
I smashed you after banged some kid last night.
I feel you, bro.
I'm not really okay with a guy hooking up with Snookie and then me doing it, I'm not really with that.
I don't think there's anything wrong necessarily with not wanting to sleep with a party girl or a party guy who is in the pursuit of pleasures regularly. That's fine. The problem is that, one, I don't think Vinnie is screening all of the women he sleeps with. Have you slept 2 nights in a row with men? No, he doesn't care. It's situational. It's not like a moral line he's drawing. And he makes it seem like his intentions are good, like he's trying to preserve Snookie's purity by not damaging it more in his eyes by sleeping with her. I do think Vinnie likes Snookie, but her nightlife is more aligned with the woman he has one-night stands with. And he does not respect women like that. I think Vinnie imagines himself ending up with a virtuous, pure woman. And Snookie isn't that. But I think despite it all, he still likes Snookie, which is like causing his brain to have like combustion. Ron and Sam have a phone conversation. Sam sounds like being away from the house for a couple days has made her feel better. She says if she comes back, her and Ron can still be friends, but she doesn't want anything more with him. Ron says he can't just be friends with her and he'd have to leave. Whatever, who cares? Goodbye. The Meatballs put marshmallows all over the house as a prank, I guess. They decide they want to go to Jenks, which is a bar club on the boardwalk in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Mike, the gentleman that he is, calls a cab for them, but he directs the cab to take them to Times Square instead of Jenks, and he says to keep it a secret to the driver. The drive to Point Pleasant from Seaside is 20 to 30 minutes max, but the girls are in the back of this taxi cab for an hour before they realize something is wrong.
This is way too long. I think we need to turn around, bro. So where the are we going?
120? We're by Woodbridge right now.
Meanwhile, the boys are getting ready to go to a restaurant called Ravoli's. Mike is taking forever to get ready, and Ron is getting hangry.
I'm ready to leave. I don't care. I need to get out of this house. Let's go.
I'll deal with it, don't worry.
We don't want to wait for Mike anymore. It's time to teach him a lesson. So me, Ronnie, and Paulie just go eat without him.
I'll admit it, I hate waiting for people. And I think this is a relatable Ronnie moment. I get really angry when I am hungry, but I hate Ron. So I think he looks like a little cowardly bitch when he gets up and stomps out of the house. He's like, I need to leave. And then Vinnie and Polly skitter after him like 2 little baby ducklings. Mike is upset when he finds out this happens. Mike really is a sensitive person despite trying to come off tough. Him and Jenny get some takeout, and on the drive home, this happens.
Car and
That old train comes.
yeah.
I just think it's funny. That's why I'm including it. The boys minus Mike are at Ravoli's eating, and Mike is at home play pretending that he's having dinner with his roommates.
So, Ronnie, why are you crying all the time? Gotta man up, dog. A little disappointed in you, boy. Bought you a birthday gift? Always look out for you, dog. You bounce. You cannot have any of my ravioli, Vinny. You have pink eye. Hey, Dina. Oh, my bad. You in Times Square.
I always thought the food at Ravoli's looked good, and I had wanted to try it because I'd never been there. But looking through the Yelp and Google reviews, now, these could just be haters, but apparently the food portions were huge, but it tasted bland and disgusting. And for better or worse, Ravoli's closed in 2016, so you cannot go there anymore. They also put a sign up outside of the restaurant when it was open that said, "I can breathe, I obey law." And it surfaced. A lot of people thought it was in reference to George Floyd, but this was actually in 2014, and they were making reference to the homicide of Eric Garner in New York City by the police. So maybe it's for the best that Ravoli's shut down. It is disappointing to hear that a business would celebrate the death of a man that was ruled a homicide by the medical examiner through the use of excessive and unnecessary police force and harassment. Maybe that's a crazy take. I don't know. I don't want to go too dark here, but yeah, fuck Tony Ravoli. Moving on. We're at Sam's house in Hazlitt. She's getting ready to go back to the Jersey Shore house. Why? And her mom and sister are giving her a pep talk.
It's gonna be really hard, but I think I prepared myself.
You know that you need to be strong when you get back because he's gonna try and win you over with, "Oh, I'm sorry, I love you." It's crap, and you know it. So you have to be seriously strong, or I will come and I will have a talk with him.
Again, if I was her family, I would be tying her to a bed and not letting her go. But, Sam is an adult, so she can make her own choice. Personally, I don't think it's a very good choice to go back. I've really tried to figure out if Sam had to go back because of contract obligations. I cannot find out that information. But, if she did go back on her own accord, I feel like somebody needs to talk some sense into this girl. I don't know. I can't really get behind this decision. Reportedly, she had only left the Shore House for a couple days to a week before she went back. And, maybe she had to go back because of a contract. Maybe she had to go back because she was feeling FOMO. Maybe being away from Ron made her feel a false sense of confidence, like she could deal with him. Maybe she wanted a paycheck, Who knows? But ultimately, I think it's just because she wasn't ready to move on from Ron. This might be a hot take for some of you guys, and you tell me if you think I'm wrong, but I do start to lose a little bit of sympathy and empathy for Sam going forward from this point for deciding to go back if she didn't have to. Obviously, that's a big asterisk because it's like she was out and she put herself back in the hot water. It's just frustrating to watch retrospectively. I mean, I was in my early 20s and I made some terrible relationship decisions, so I understand it, but also I didn't really expect people to feel too bad for me after a certain point because I'm, just stabbing myself in the leg over and over again, metaphorically. I don't know. The meatballs are delivered back to the Shore House after a little trip. Snookie's pretty pissed about the whole thing. She does admit it's a good prank, but she's so mad at Vinnie and Polly for not telling her.
We have to snitch on somebody because I just stay out of it. It's not my business. It was his prank. I didn't do anything. If you want to be mad at me, you can, but there's no reason to.
I just heard that you guys are mad at me, but I ain't doing thing.
Sam is pulling up to the house while everyone is getting ready to go out to Karma.
What does it call a baby called Baba? Baba.
Baba.
Where does Paulie go for his haircut?
The Baba.
Hi, Sam.
What the hell?
Oh my God!
Am I dreaming or am I awake?
You look good.
When she walks in the house, everybody seems very excited to see her except Ron, who looks stunlocked. Now, on to Ray's replies to replies. I feel like I'm going to mess your name up, so I do apologize. This comment is from All Elite Memes AEM3916. Ronnie expected them to coddle him as usual, but Sammi standing up for herself made everyone else feel compelled to do the same. He was not prepared for that, Lamau. He wasn't sorry, he just felt guilty because the house saw the glaring consequences of his actions, which was Sammi not being there, and that was embarrassing for him. I love Sammi's talk with her mom, even though I think her mom's reaction was a bit too muted. She finally called Ronnie's treatment what it was, abuse. Ronnie was performative as hell in this episode, typical narcissist trying to farm pity to avoid accountability. It's so funny. I've had this discussion with a couple close people I know who watch my videos, like my husband, for example, and they always say Ronnie's this low IQ idiot. But I actually, maybe I'm giving him too much credit. I think Ronnie is really smart in one very specific way, and that's manipulation and trying to turn situations in which he's a victim. And you kind of start to see in the Shore House, everybody starts laughing. No, they kind of lose their anger towards him, especially the girls. They're laughing with him. They're all having a good time. And it's like, oh, I'm funny, Ron. he somehow manages to make these people forget he's a crazy, abusive monster. So, yeah, I don't know. It blows my mind. Also, when it comes to Sammi's family, where is her dad? I know he shows up in the last season, and I know he does not like Ron, but like, where is he on the show? Why is he not at the shore house, banging on? My dad would do that. He'd yell at me first for going back, but he would definitely kick the shit out of some dude if he did that to me. I don't know. Also, not to talk too much shop, but I was thinking about maybe putting out 2 extra videos a month. Just talking about current light drama events, kind of along the lines of crapping on James Charles for putting out that video where he called that woman entitled for asking him for money for her GoFundMe when he's super entitled. So just dumb little things like that. I will still be putting out my 4 Jersey Shore videos a month though, unless I get sick, and you guys know that happens a lot now, so fingers crossed. Anyway, just something I might do. Until next time, I'm Ray Arcade. Stay crazy, stay wild. Bye!
We did it.